Right, now we come to Al-Hajj, which I must say is a rather favorite chapter of mine because I can kind of see the flow in this chapter more so than many other chapters. So Al-Hajj begins with the call to humankind, Ya Ayyuhan Nas, which we have not seen since chapter 4. So it's quite a long break in the Ya Ayyuhan Nas chapters. It says, Ya Ayyuhan Nas attaqu rabbukum, also like chapter 4. Inna zalzalah as-sa'at shay'un azim. Verily, the convulsion of the hour is something major, something big. So, this is the beginning of Al-Hajj. Al-Hajj is really about the administration of the Islamic system. Once again, the Islamic system is not a religious system. It is a system of society where human beings can achieve their full potential. Um, from verses 1 to 4, it talks about this hour. Then in verse 5 onwards, it talks about the system as compared to the the evolution of the fetus in the womb. That is verse 5. It says, O mankind, if you have a doubt about the resurrection, consider that we created you out of dust, then out of sperm, then out of leech-like clot. So here, our creation is being compared to the slow evolution of the system. And it says in verse 6, ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ اللَّهُ وَالْحَقِّ. Verily, this is because Allah is Al-Haq. So we've seen before how Al-Haq is being explained. I mean, in chapter 13, there's a great exposition of Al-Haq. And here, Allah's role as Al-Haq, or the truth, or the reality, this is being accessed and brought to life. So we fast forward a bit to verse 25, which talks about those who reject. They have rejected this exposition thus far about Allah and His role as a guide in our lives. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, verily those who reject, وَيَصَدُّونَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, and they reject the path of Allah, وَالْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ, and the sacred masjid. So they have rejected this concept of a sacred space, so which we have made for mankind equally. So again, this place is where mankind can be equal. So equal is the visitor there and those who live there. You see, so this is the ideal of God's system. But those who reject, they do not want this. In other words, they favor oppression. Verse 26, it says, وَإِذْ بَوَّأْنَا لِإِبْرَاهِيمَ مَكَانَ الْبَيْتِ لَأَلَّا تُشْرِكْ بِي شَيْئًا. We gave the site of the system to Ibrahim, saying, associate not but me with me, and purify my house for those who are coming and going, those who are establishing and those who are bowing in prostration. So here Ibrahim is given that site. Why? Because Ibrahim has managed to completely rid himself of shirk. So when we rid ourselves of shirk, it will give us that state of security. This is also echoed in 2455, which inshallah we will do tomorrow. Then once you have achieved this state, it says, وَأَذَنٍ فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ, and permit for mankind with the Hajj. So you've already achieved this, you are now permitting mankind to come forward. Why? So that they may witness, and that's in verse 28, they may witness the benefits afforded to them, and to vivify the names of Allah in the stated times. So what does this mean exactly? Well, the Isma of Allah, the Asma'ul Husna, the attributes of Rahman, Rahim, etc. Human beings should come to Al-Bayt, to the house of Allah, and see this for themselves. And that is the purpose of Hajj. So this chapter is for us to understand how Al-Hajj works, how when the state of absolute peace happens. Mankind will congregate so that benefit is afforded to them. So another element in this chapter is in verse 67 to 69, where God says, to every ummah we have appointed rites and ceremonies which they must follow. Let them do so and do not dispute with you on the matter, but invite them to their Lord. So here we can see diversity is allowed. Yeah, and with the diversity, as it says in verse 69, God will judge between you on the day of judgment concerning what you differ. So again, there is absolutely no problem at all. Allow people to follow their rites and rituals. This is commanded by the Quran. Towards the end of the Quran, towards the end of this chapter, we have the essential elements of what needs to be done in order to achieve this. So Allah reminds us again where we begin. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O ye who have believed. So if you have believed in this entire exposition, arka'u wa asjudu wa a'budu rabbukum, bow down and prostrate, submit, wa'budu rabbukum, and serve your Lord, wa if'alul khayr la'allakum tuflihun, and bring about al-khayra. Al-khayr, what is al-khayr? Al-khayr is a state where choice is made abundant. لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ, that you may prosper. So this is the thing which we need to do in order to make the system happen. It continues in the last verse, وَجَاهِدُوا فِي اللَّهِ حَقَّ جِهَادِهِ, and serve in Allah a righteous struggle. Sorry, it's not serve. وَجَاهِدُوا is to struggle in the way of Allah, حَقَّ جِهَادِهِ, with a righteous struggle. هُوَ أَجْتَبَاكُمْ وَمَا جَعَلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. It is He has chosen you and imposed no difficulty for you in your deen. مِلَّةُ أَبِيكُمْ Ibrahim, the path or the way of your father Ibrahim. هُوَ سَمَّكُمُ الْمُسْلِمُونَ, and He, Allah, has named you or essentialized you as al-Muslimin. مِنْ قَبْلُ وَفِي هَذَا, from before and in this. لِيَكُونُوا الرَّسُولُ شَهِيدًا عَلَيْكُمْ, that the messenger may be a witness on you. So the teachings of the messenger will be a witness on you while you're doing this. وَتَكُونُوا شُهَادًا عَلَى النَّاسِ, and you will be a witness to the people. So you are witnessing, seeing whether the people are acting correctly. If they're not, remove oppression. You see, so this is what your role is. فَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةِ, and this is also salat. So establish salat. وَآتُوا zakah, and bring about growth. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِاللَّهِ, and hold firm to Allah. هُوَ مَوْلَكُمْ, He is your protector. فَنِعْمَ الْمَوْلَى وَنِعْمَ النَّصِيرُ, and He is the best as a protector and the best as a helper. So this very short passage from verse 77 to verse 78 is like the summation of action designed to bring about this Masjid al-Haram, this safe space where everyone is equal. So there we have it. Al-Hajj is like almost another angle of Al-Anbiya, which we did previous to this. So here we're beginning to see almost like a thematic progression. So let's move on to chapter 23, Al-Mu'mineen.